guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing 4 easy Christmas DIYs. They're going to be super quick, simple, cheap. Cheap is good, and hopefully they'll get y'all on the Christmas spirit. And yeah, with that, let's start the video. So starting off with this wooden joy sign, all you're going to need is a scrap piece of wood or any piece of wood that you could find at the craft store or your hardware store. I'm just throwing down a piece of paper so that no stain or sand dust gets on it. But I'm starting off with a 100 grit piece of sandpaper, and I'm gonna sand down all the edges and the rough patches so that way there's no splinters or pokey things happening. Then after you have it sand, I'm just going in with this folk art antiquing medium in the color Nutmeg. I got this from Hobby Lobby for like $3, and you can use a coupon on it as well. You can choose whatever color you want. They have a bunch, but I'm just going in with this. And we're going to coat the front and all the sides. You can't coat the back, but I just skipped that step because nobody's going to see the back of mine. But you just want to make sure you have an even coat. You can go in with more than one coat of stain. I just chose to go with the one because it took less time and I just didn't feel like doing more. But after you have it coated, you can go ahead and wipe off all the excess with a paper towel, and you're going to want to make sure you have most of it off so it kind of feels like dry to the touch. And then after you've wiped it all off, we're going to let it sit overnight just to dry and soak up the stain. So after it's dried, I went ahead and made some stencils of the word joy. You guys can do whatever phrase or Christmas term that you want, but I'm going to go ahead and put down a line of masking tape so that way my letters will be straight. Then I just go ahead and position them in the way that I want. And then I'm just taking a black pen and outlining the letters. I also went ahead and made some antler stencils to make the O into a reindeer. Optional, but I thought it added a festive pizzazz to it. After that, I'm just going in with some black acrylic paint. You guys can use whatever color you'd like. I just prefer black. And then I'm just filling in all the letters and the antlers with black. And then once you get to the little circle in the middle, I'm doing red to make it red-nosed reindeer. Taking a piece of garland and measuring out to the length that I want it to be, and then I'm just cutting off the excess garland with a wire cutter. And then taking some hot glue, I'm just attaching it to the top of the wood, and then I'm going to go in and put some more hot glue on top of that just to make sure it's super secure. And then you're going to want to hold it down until your hot glue completely dries, which doesn't take long, so don't freak out. And this should be your final product. Moving on to the Santa Mail mailbox, you're going to want to pick up a mailbox from the Dollar Tree. They had a lot of options. I chose this one. I'm just going in with a coat of white paint to cover up whatever is on the mailbox right now. You guys can choose whatever color that you want. And after that, I'm just going in with some black paint to paint the little mail flag. Again, you don't have to use the same colors I'm using. This just goes with my decor. And then after that first coat dried, I went in again with lots and lots of coats of paint, like a lot, like 4 probably. So once your mailbox is dry, I went ahead and printed off these North Pole post office little signs off, just Google. Cutted those out, and then I applied Mod Podge to the back of them, and then just stuck it right on the mailbox. And you're gonna want to do that on both sides. You don't have to, but that's what mine is looking like right now. And then to add a final touch, I went ahead and took this little shower ring that I had laying around. I had an extra pack for some reason. Went ahead and cut off the bottom part to it and then added a dab of hot glue to each side and pressed it on the mailbox. Then I went ahead and went in with black paint just to match the mail flag, and that is it for this little mailbox upcycle. Okay, so to make this lovely accent pillow or dog pillow cushion thing, you're going to want to start off with a fleece scarf that I picked up from the dollar store. I got mine in the buffalo check pattern, but you can do whichever pattern. You're just going to want to cut off the fringe off of them on both sides. Next, I just folded it in half to match up the ends, and I want to make sure that you guys know to put the tag side out. And you're going to want to peel it back and then just start hot gluing the edges together. Do it in small portions, it makes it more efficient. After you've secured both sides and edges all together, you're going to want to flip it inside out so that way the seams are back on the inside and it looks like we sewed the thing. So if there's any little holes that you see, you can go in with your hot glue gun and just pinch it back shut just to make sure none of the stuffing that we put in is going to come out. After that, I took a spare pillow that I had that I wasn't using and it was kind of ugly, so I took the fluff out of that and stuffed it in there. And then you're just going to want to fluff it around until you get the shape that you want. Last, we're just going to close up the bottom seam with our hot glue gun by folding it and pressing it in. And you can totally leave it like this, it's up to you, but I decided to go in with some white fabric paint and just paint a couple of snowflakes on there just to give it some jazz and pizzazz, you know? And then once your snowflakes are all dry, you now have a cute dog bed accent pillow. I gave it to my dogs because it matched their bed better. And look at Brownie, he loves it so much. So for the final DIY, we are making these Scandinavian gnomes that I've been seeing everywhere using Dollar Tree socks. So we're going to start off with a white plain white sock. I'm going to open it up and fill it with these beans that I also got from the dollar store. I ended up using 2 packs of them to fill up the entire sock. Once your sock is full, I just went ahead and shaped it the way that I wanted it to look. And then taking the top, we are just going to tie it with a hair tie or a rubber band or whatever you have. Just giving it little ponytails. Okay, so then once you're done with that, you're going to want to bunch up a circle in like the top part of the gnome. Sounds weird, but you're just going to grab a bunch of beans basically and form it into a circle and then tie it around with a hair tie or rubber band. I know it sounds weird, but you can see what I'm doing in the video. Then we are taking another pair of socks. I got it this brown color and I just cut off the top part of the sock and then fit it around our little gnome. And then you're going to take a dab of hot glue and secure the little top parts of it so that way it stays attached to the gnome. After that, I'm just taking a black sock and then I'm going to use this as a hat, so I'm just fitting it around the head and around the nose. Then just kind of fluffing it up. After that, I'm taking this soft microfiber cloth that you can find in the car section of your dollar store. I just cut it into a triangle and then we're going to cut out a little circle shape at the top for where their nose is going to go. And then you just want to kind of size it to your gnome. I made mine a little too big, so I ended up trimming mine down, so trim it to what your gnome size is going to be. After that, we're just doing a line of hot glue on the inside and then attaching it to our gnome. And lastly, we're just pulling back that sock at the top as his hat and then we're fixing it all around. I decided to cut off a little bit of the hat part of the sock because it was too long, and then I just took a piece of wire that I had laying around and tied a knot at the top to give it a little tail, I guess, or whatever you would call it, but you can also use a hair tie for that. And that completes our 4 DIYs today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all of them and it puts you in the festive mood. If you guys did like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you. Bye.